What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Mizzy Show. I'm your host with the most. Now, before we begin, please hit that subscribe and that like button for me. Let me know that you're a real citizen of the channel. So I'm just out here about to get my exercise, but I just seen something that kind of like, it really wet my whistle. You know what I'm saying? It, what they say, it jammed my Glock, right? It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So, we already know the whole thing with Drake and Kendrick, and, Kendrick basically just took a shit on Drake and wiped his ass with OVO. We know this, right? This is already, like, evident. This is something that's already been, there's no dispute. I mean, there's people, but we all know what's happening. Anyway, so, with that being the case, right? Weeks after the thing, this dude 21 Savage, he wants to jump out, right, and say, what'd he say? For if you wait weeks and weeks to see what someone got to say to turn on me before you do, then such and such about you, like you're a sucker or something to that degree. Bro, number one, well, let's just talk about both situations, because Game spoke on Drake as well, right? Game said, hey, look, Game said, check it out. Basically, he's sticking up for Drake, and then going at Rick Ross, in another word, and then 21 Savage. So let's talk about both of these, right? Because one of the situations was, I'll be real with you, was corny, bro. It was not cool. Number one, let's talk about Game, because he came first, right? So he goes at Rick Ross, right? So let's talk about the dynamic here. Drake is not from California, obviously not from California, not from damn West Coast, not from America, right? He's from a whole nother country. Now, we not talking about you from a country, but you was raised here, you're from a gang here, or something to that degree. No, you're from there. You know what I'm saying? You're from way up there, right? You're from there. Number one. That being the case, you're from up there. You're not from America. You're not from nowhere where we're at. Kendrick is from Compton, okay? He's from the west side of Compton, if I'm not mistaken, right? So, this is your boy. Not to mention, whether he's pushing it actively or not, he's a Damo, right? And you're supposed to be a Damo. Well, you are blood. You're from Cedar Block, right? Now, you go out of your way to diss Drake, right? Who is going at Kendrick, like, make that make sense. And you've never, to my knowledge, you've never had any ill will. You've never had any issues. You dig what I'm saying? With Kendrick. Kendrick never did nothing to you that was, you know what I'm saying, that wasn't cool. You feel what I'm saying? You and Kendrick have never, to my knowledge, had any bad blood, right? So what's the deal? Like, why are you going out of your way to diss someone who is going at you? Why are you going out of your way to diss somebody that's beefing with your, like, come on, bro, with your friend's enemy? Come on, it don't make no sense. It really doesn't make any sense at all. And it looks stupid. You look corny. I'll be honest with you. So let me say this. I don't want to seem like I'm like saying anything that I've never said prior. Like, Game, I'm a fan of his music. I'm a big fan of his music, right? I'm a big fan of Game's music. I like Game. I love documentary. You understand me? The Doctor's Advocate. Even though everybody talk bad about the album, I like Blood Moon. You know what I'm saying? Ying, ying, ying on the motherfucker, right? Excuse me. So, this is a phenomenal artist. I'm not taking nothing from his prestige of hip-hop, right? But you looking silly, Game. I'll be honest. First and foremost, I'm not saying this like in any, like, I'm a fan, but why? Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Number one, People are already looking at you. I mean, there's different types of people. We in the popcorn generation right now, where people they're more like what you did lately, what you do in the last 30 days. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little older, so I take into account every little thing. You get what I'm saying? So like, yeah, Rick Ross is a CEO. In my mind, I'm not gonna forget like he's a CEO. I'm moving kids in Miami Beach and I'm doing my thing. Yeah, boss. Now, like, all right, that's sounds great, but you're a correctional officer. And at one point in time, you were that, and I know that, and I'm going to know that forever. I'm an older gentleman. These kids, maybe it's a different scenario. You get what I'm saying? So with that being the case, some of us, we're holding on to the Eminem thing. Like, well, you dissing Eminem looking for a response, and you didn't even get one, and that makes you look even... I ain't gonna lie, no response. So they said something on one of these podcasts that kind of had me thinking like, wow, okay. They said you're only as good as your, how did they say it? You're only as good as your competitor, as your opponent. So basically they not even looking at you like you a worthy opponent. Like, why would I even diss this dude? He's not even, you know what I'm saying? Would the president of the United States of America respond to some homeless kid who's saying, you're a piece of crap because I'm homeless? Nah, he wouldn't even, he'd be like, come on, bro, get that out of here. You feel me? So with that being the case, like, why, that just looks bad. Let's just say that, thus far, that looks bad on your behalf, right? That you did that already. But then people kind of like let it go. Maybe you was in your emotions about the Super Bowl thing, right? People kind of, whatever, right? You still have major contributions to the hip-hop, rap game, whatever you want to call it, right? You have major contributions to this game. So we get that part, right? Now, in addition to that, Kendrick, who's from Compton, you're from Compton, grew up in a Piru area. You grew up in a Piru area partially or whatever, I don't know. He's going back and forth with Game. Then you're going back and forth with Game. Excuse me. Then you start going back and forth. Let me rewind that. Look, Kendrick's going back and forth with Drake. It's too many names and the whole thing got me confused. Kendrick's going back and forth with Drake. You're from Compton, he's from Compton. But then you start having a problem with Ross, who's been clowning Drake. Basically, you like kind of like being you're looking very disloyal at this point. Now I understand. You did some songs and stuff like that with Drake. I get that. And maybe perhaps you feel like, okay, well, Drake kind of did some things for me in the past as far as these songs and stuff like that. Maybe perhaps, I owe him a little something, right? I owe that to him but you really don't though, bro. You don't. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? This is his own man. And even if you did, you're going to do it to your, like, come on, bro. You're looking silly right now. And then not to mention, you spoke good on Kendrick a couple occasions. You get what I'm saying? And then, let's talk about this, right? We're still on game because there's one more person, 21 Savage. We're going to get to that in a second. But you spoke good on Kendrick on a number of occasions, right? That's like, yeah, bro. So, okay. So there's a channel I watch, right? Shout out to this dude, Hoodie from the Hood. And he was breaking down some lyrics. So if you guys remember, don't come to my studio with that fake shit, right? It's Drake and Game. So of course if you look back at the footage and all that, they said Drake was scared as hell when he was in Compton. He wasn't. That's what Wack was saying. We don't know if it's true or not. Probably, most likely. Like, he's just a Jewish kid from Canada. Like, no disrespect to Jewish people or Canada. But they don't have the same realities as we have in America, right? You don't have, I mean, I don't know what all you have, but it's not the same. We'll put it like that. Guns, the average gang member doesn't have a gun. In America, the average gang member probably has a gun. You get what I'm saying? He probably has a blammer. And there's people getting shot on a regular. There's not as much gun violence as here because they don't allow guns, which kind of changes the dynamic of things. So anyway, point being, right? this guy made this song with Drake. He said, Ninjas called me to set you up. So, but he put a stop to it. So who called you to set up Drake? Now, what he said was K-Dot, right? This is what Hoodie suggested. Was it K-Dot? Like, if that's the case, why are you in some business that has nothing, like, no. You're trying to, you understand me, assist an outsider against your people, against your folks, against your local townsmen. You know what I'm saying? The town folk, whatever you want to call it. You're trying to assist an outsider in that. Is that player? Or is that not player? Like, to me, that's a little weird. I'll be honest with you. Then I go back to some of your older interviews, right? You were saying that you fell out with your hood and stuff like that for bringing Crips on tour, which I'm all for peace amongst the black community, for 100%. Like, I'm with that totally. But you have a certain obligation. If you're from where you're from, you are from where you're from. I'm not trying to say you're not. You're from where you're from. You have an obligation to those people before you have an obligation to somebody from 60s or what other gangs that are in the area, right? And this comes from somebody, I'm not pushing any gang agenda. I'm just saying, like, you have an obligation. If I'm Muslim and there's a Muslim brother right here, and the Muslim's like, oh, bro, take me on this tour, bro. I'm trying to get it booming. I can do this, that, and the third. And instead, I go double back and take somebody who's not Muslim on a tour and leave this dude in the death. That made me look some type of, you get what I'm saying? Like, everything has its individual, unique circumstances, and I get that. But overall, this is not a good look. So it's just setting the trend. You get what I'm saying? Then the Meek Mill thing. You like was going so far to call Meek Mill a snitch when Sean Kingston got his chain snatched, right? You was going so far to do that just to double back and be like, oh, he's cool. You get what I'm saying? Then, here's another point. This is another point that's a very good point, right? All the stuff that happened with Rick Ross, the CO thing, Molly and her champagne, all the stuff that we know, everybody that's my age and older and maybe a couple years younger, anybody who's born in the mid-'80s, early 80s, late 80s, they know about this. Because we don't forget, we're not like the kids. We're not the popcorn generation. You tell us something, we're going to remember. If you did some little host, like 6ix9ine's messing with a pedo, he's messing with kids, you know what I'm saying, he's snitching on everybody. These kids, they forget all about it. They don't care. You feel me? Me, people around my age group, we're like, hold on, bro. No, I don't gel with that. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, all this stuff about Rick Ross, we already knew it, right? The champagne, the Molly and the champagne, she didn't even know it. The CO thing, we already knew about that. We all did like weird, you stole your name. All these things that he's bringing up, they're things that we already know. You get what I'm saying? And not just that, they're things that you already knew. And you still kicked it with him. You still did songs with him. You still shouted him out. I came up with Young Jeezy and Boss Ass Ninjas. Right? You remember you did that? You were shouting him out in Blood Moon. You know what I'm saying? You've got pictures with him. If I'm not mistaken, you have some other songs with him. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure you did. Right? Why is he all of a sudden drugs women? And why is he all of a sudden the police? And why all of a sudden is he such a hoe? You get what I'm saying? It just looks a little, you look like you're reaching, bro. And you look like you made the wrong move. You have phenomenal music. And in no way, shape, or form am I taking your music from you. I can't do that. You're a phenomenal artist, right? In no way, shape, or form am I doing that. However, right? However, you look terrible, bro. You don't look good. That wasn't a player move. You get what I'm saying? And you don't, honestly, if I'm being real, you don't look very loyal at all. You look kind of like, this is well, I'll get to my logic at the end. So now let's go to 21 Savage, right? 21 Savage, they did a whole album together. They're supposed to be his man. You know what I'm saying? 21, can you do something for me? 21, can you, right? Now, when he's over here getting, you understand me, attacked, you didn't hear nothing but crickets. Right? You heard crickets, bro. That's what you heard. You get what I'm saying? You heard crickets. Okay? Now, 3 weeks later, damn near a month later, after he been going back and forth with Kendrick, 21 Savage makes a post talking about, if you waiting on to see what everyone else says to go against me before you do, then you're a sucker or you're lame or something to that degree, right? So you want to make this like, basically almost like you giving him some type of shout out, right? You giving him some type of shout out. You get what I'm saying? You giving him some type of shout out. Excuse me. But you was quiet when he was getting attacked, right? Now, that's like when all this was happening, and I seen the footage. You was over there listening to Afro beats on IG, blah 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 blah, right? You was doing all kind of stuff that was other than, you didn't really give a damn, right? Not saying really like that shit. That just shows you, bro. People use people. That's what let's just be real. 21. He wanted Drake to get to that next level of stardom. Drake, he wanted 21 to give him a little credibility. You know, send me to, let me go down to Atlanta and see if I can really be recognized by these goons and these thugs in the street. Let me go somewhere where I look official, where people will accept me official, and if I do something with 21, I will look this type of way. You know what I'm saying? He got the stick, the stick with the stick. It's oppie outside. Who are your ops, bro? You don't have no ops, dude. Come on, now you do. Now you do. When it's not your fellow Jewish kids, I'll tell you that much. No, it's not. No, you in the whole shooting with this thing with security guard, who knows what that it really is. That could have been publicity stunt. That could have been anything. But people use people. So, it basically, to conclude, my gripes and grievances were more with the game in this situation, because 21 just had a little tweet, which was just kind of corny, but it didn't resonate as much as the one with the game did. The one with the game, that looks very bad. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, in conclusion, right? In conclusion, this is my theory on it. Game and 21, they probably looking at Drake like, see, Game, he's getting close to the nobody's really too much checking for him. The album sales ain't what they were. He's getting a little bit up there, and he's not really like, I don't think he really too much prepared like that great nest egg or other business thing. You get what I'm saying? So he's probably, not even that long ago, he was like, oh, I'm doing, I remember there was like some lawsuits or something like that about whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't, guilty or not guilty, I don't know. I personally would assume not guilty because there was no criminal situation, right? So I would assume not guilty. But whatever the situation, he had got tossed up with some allegations. Right after that, they said he got to pay like some millions. He was on, I think it was IG, one of those. He like, oh, I'm doing features for $1,000 or something like that. And he's doing features with people who you never heard of in your life and never heard of since. Like this little white kid who be singing. He's from from somewhere out of like California, like a richer area of California. It wasn't like, if it's LA, it's like LA County, like Palo Verde, somewhere like, you know. But anyway, he's doing all these, like, doing stuff that you would, like, that's not his, like, you're lowering your stock. You get what I'm saying? You can rub shoulders with all these stars. I don't know. I feel like he's not that good of a planner. You know what I'm saying? Now, he did a song with Drake, right? Let's not forget, Game had a song with Drake. So, for that to happen and no one's checking for you, I feel like it's kind of a personality thing. I feel like a lot of people, and really, like, I don't even think that even matters at this point. You get what I'm saying? Like, you could have people, like, really honestly put together like a little 7-song or even a full album, but even a little mixtape. You can put together a little mixtape, put it on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Get a couple people on there. You know what I'm saying? You doing that, once you go get Drake on there now. That's what you need to do. Maybe you just trying to get another Drake feature. I don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? They say a lot of people are salty with Drake because they'll do an album, they'll get the person hot, and then they'll call him for a feature and he won't pick up the phone. So whatever the situation, maybe you need to secure that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like you're not as well with managing your success as maybe, let's say, like some of these other people, right? Okay, so with that being the case, now let's talk about it, right? 21, he just used him basically. He used him, that was that. He might be like, that's my boy, but how deep is that really? Lil Durk might be like, that's my boy. How deep is that really though? You know what I'm saying? How deep is that really? You don't know these people like that. You get what I'm saying? That'd be like right now. Let's say I made millions. Let's just say I'm a millionaire, hypothetically. Let's say I'm a millionaire and I made millions. I have a few million already. Then I meet someone who helps me attain, not even helps me, who I do some projects with that gets me to get way more fame. And maybe like another 10, 20 million. I was already in a good place. I helped you, you helped me. We did what we did. We all benefited off that. So I really don't owe you. So that's probably what everybody's thinking. You know what I'm saying? It's business. Everything's transactional. Anyway, man, I'm finna go to the gym. Really the whole thing, more than anything with the game, kind of got me like what? Like, come on, man. You are one of the biggest names in the, I would say, the 2010s and all that hip hop. 2000 to you're a very big, I would say 2010s. You're one of the biggest names in the 2010s hip hop, and the most controversial. And you made it out of G Unit without just loot. Like a lot of people didn't do shit after that, bro. Of course, Ja. Like, but I'm saying you were in G Unit, and a lot of people was in G Unit. They didn't look at MOP, not to disrespect them. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't heard shit about them ever since. You know what I'm saying? A couple people. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure maybe they have their own little bits of success or whatever, but Scrappy, I think, was trying to do some G-Unit stuff for a second. They were talking about signing a couple people. But anyway, you made it out of there. Not only that, you went against them, and you still did it. So why is this necessary? Like, come on, man, get it together. You know what I'm saying? I feel I could see what the gripes were about at this point. But anyway, 21, you're looking kind of foolish. I'll be honest with you. Why even respond now? Just let it go. Look, check it out. If it was me and I made all these millions with someone, I would just say this if someone asked me. Look, man, that's a person I made some money with. You know what I'm saying? We straight, but it ain't my job to save everybody. And it's not, just like it's not his job to save me. Let's be real, bro. No one's going to go at Drake if someone's attacking Game. Nobody. I promise you. I promise you. Let someone make some songs about Game. No one's going to go at Drake. I mean, Drake's not going to go at anybody. I promise you, bro. I promise you. You get what I'm saying? So, number one, that. Number two, the same thing with someone's 21 Savage is going back and forth with somebody. Drake ain't finna attack nobody. So, I just leave it at that. Look, man, I don't know these fools. You know what I'm saying? You better not even say nothing because it makes you look a little worse. Anyway, that's what I got to say. I'm about to hit this gym. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you have not already, please hit that subscribe and that like button for me. Salute. Y'all have a great day and a great Mother's Day. All right.